The scorching Abuja sun beat down on the red dust streets. But inside the cool, dimly lit room, the air was thick with the scent of jasmine and ambition. Anya, leader of the Serpent's daughters, surveyed her young protégés. They were all teenagers, pretty and sharp, plucked from the city's underbelly with nothing to lose and everything to gain. Their mission: infiltrate the city's wealthiest homes, charm the lonely wives and extract their secrets and their money. Remember, girls. Anya's voice was a low purr. We are invisible, and we are irresistible. Among them was Zara, the youngest and most recently recruited. Her eyes, usually darting with street smarts, held a flicker of something else tonight. Hesitation. She was still getting used to the silk dresses, the whispered instructions, the unsettling thrill of deception. Zara's first few assignments were easy. A bored socialite, a neglected artist's wife. Their loneliness was a gaping maw, and Zara, with her shy smiles and attentive listening, was a welcome distraction. The money flowed, sometimes in crisp bundles, sometimes in whispered bank transfers. The Serpent's daughters grew richer, their operations smoother. Then came the assignment to Mrs. Adesua Namdi's house. Adesua was different. Her home, a sprawling villa nestled amongst manicured gardens, felt less like a gilded cage and more like a sanctuary. Adesua herself was calm, her eyes kind, her laugh a soft melody. She spent her days reading and listening to classical music. Zara, posing as a new housemaid, found herself disarmed. Instead of the usual hurried seduction, she found herself genuinely enjoying Adesua's company. They talked about books, about the scent of rain, about the quiet joy of a blooming flower. Adesua, sensing something gentle in Zara, treated her not as a servant, but as a young friend. One afternoon, Adesua found Zara humming along to a melancholic classical piece. "You like this, Zara?" she asked, a soft smile on her lips. Zara nodded, feeling a blush creep up her neck. Adesua reached out, her fingers brushing Zara's arm as she adjusted a stray lock of hair. The touch sent a shiver through Zara, different from any thrill she'd felt before. It was warm, comforting, and deeply unsettling in its newness. The usual routine, the carefully planned seduction, felt wrong here. Zara found herself delaying, making excuses to Anya for the lack of progress. Adesua's vulnerability was not a weakness to exploit, but a fragile beauty to protect. Zara was falling, slowly and irrevocably, for the kind woman who saw past her maid's uniform. The turning point came during a quiet evening. Adesua's husband was away, as he often was. Adesua, sensing Zara's uncharacteristic quietness, gently asked, "Is everything all right, Zara? You seem troubled." Zara, her heart aching with a tenderness she'd never known, found herself drawn to Adesua. The evening air grew heavy with unspoken desires. Adesua's hand found Zara's, fingers intertwining. The touch was electric, igniting a spark Zara hadn't known existed. Adesua's gaze, usually so calm, now held a burning intensity. They moved closer, drawn by an invisible force. Their lips met, tentative at first, then with a deepening hunger. Zara had been taught to seduce, to use her body as a tool, but this was different. This was raw, untamed emotion. Adesua's touch was soft, searching, igniting every nerve ending. Their clothes became a hindrance, shed in a flurry of shared urgency. Skin met skin, hot and yielding. Every kiss, every caress was a revelation. Zara felt herself unravel, not in a calculated performance, but in a surrender so profound it terrified her. Adesua's soft moans, her whispered endearments, were like a balm to Zara's conflicted soul. In Adesua's arms, Zara felt seen, cherished, truly loved for the first time. The world outside, the serpent's daughters, Anya's rules, all faded into a distant hum. There was only Adesua, her warmth, her passion, her unconditional acceptance. Afterward, as they lay tangled in the soft sheets, the air thick with the scent of their love, the dam broke. Zara, tears welling in her eyes, confessed. Not everything, not the whole truth about the serpent's daughters, but enough. She spoke of her desperation, of being alone, of Anya's iron grip. She didn't need to mention the seduction part. Adesua, with her perceptive eyes, seemed to understand the implied danger. Adesua listened, her hand resting on Zara's, a silent comfort. When Zara finished, her voice choked with sobs, Adesua simply pulled her into a hug. It was a maternal embrace, full of warmth and understanding. In that moment, Zara knew she couldn't betray this woman. She loved her. "We will figure this out, Zara," Adesua whispered, stroking Zara's hair. "You don't have to go back to them." But leaving the serpent's daughters wasn't an option. Anya had made that brutally clear during Zara's initiation. Once a serpent's daughter, always a serpent's daughter. The only way out is in a coffin. Zara told Adesua this, her voice trembling. Adesua's face paled, but her resolve hardened. "Then we will make them believe you are in one." The plan was hatched over sleepless nights and hushed whispers. It was audacious, risky, and their only hope. Adesua, using her network, found a doctor willing to provide a potent sedative and a small, secluded mortuary. They needed a body, a young woman's body, that would be unidentifiable enough to pass for Zara. Adesua, with a grim determination, orchestrated it all. Anya's suspicions were growing. Zara's lack of results, her evasiveness, it all pointed to a betrayal. She sent one of her most ruthless girls, Kemi, to check on Zara. The night of the fake death was a blur of terror and adrenaline. Zara, having taken the sedative, lay still in the cold mortuary, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. Kemi arrived, her eyes sharp, her face impassive. She looked at the still figure on the slab, then back at the doctor, who gravely confirmed Zara's death from a sudden illness. Kemi's eyes lingered on a small, familiar tattoo on the body's wrist, a tiny serpent, the mark of the serpent's daughters. She seemed to accept it, though a flicker of something unreadable crossed her face. Adesua watched, her breath held tight, as Kemi finally left. Only then did she rush to Zara's side, shaking her gently until Zara stirred, groggy and disoriented. The funeral was a quiet affair. A brief notice in a local paper, an empty coffin. Anya, surprisingly, sent flowers, a chilling reminder of her reach. Meanwhile, Adesua had purchased a small, unassuming house in a secluded village, far from the bustling city of Abuja. It was nestled amongst thick foliage, almost invisible from the winding dirt road. There, Zara slowly recovered, her mind still reeling from the elaborate deception. Life in the hidden house was a stark contrast to her previous existence. There were no demands, no deceptions, no constant fear. Only the quiet rhythm of the days and Adesua's gentle presence. They spent their time reading, cooking, tending to a small garden. Their love deepened in the quiet intimacy, a bond forged in shared danger and profound trust. But the fear never truly left Zara. Every creak of the floorboards, every unfamiliar car passing by, sent a jolt of anxiety through her. Anya was relentless. She would never truly stop looking for a vanished serpent's daughter. One evening, months after their escape, Zara and Adesua sat on the porch, watching the stars bloom in the ink-black sky. "Do you ever wonder if she knows?" Zara whispered, her voice barely audible. Adesua squeezed her hand. "It doesn't matter, my love. We are here. We are safe. And we have each other." But Zara knew Anya's nature. A serpent never truly forgets its prey. They were safe for now. Yes, but forever was a long time. Their love, beautiful and fragile, would always exist in the shadow of a lie. A secret held tight against the ever-present threat of exposure. And in that secret, they found a strange, fierce freedom.